Saw you?
Okay. So just because we've been asking everybody and I don't know, what was your introduction to the labyrinth?
Oh, wow. It's my wife's fault. We were sitting in the den one Sunday afternoon reading the Atlanta Constitution, and she tossed me the Faith and Values section. This was in August of 1998. And she said, "Here, John, here's something I think you might be interested in." And it was about a church in Atlanta that had painted their own canvas labyrinth. And that was in 1998, so it was before you could just go out and buy a canvas labyrinth. So they had painted their own design. It was an Episcopal church, and I thought, well, this interesting. Read the article. There was a blurb there for Lauren's book. I thought, well, that's interesting too. So I put that aside for a while, and then several weeks later, on a Friday afternoon, I was driving down Peachtree Street, which is one of the main streets in Atlanta. And at 5 o'clock on Friday, you don't drive down Peachtree Street. You just find a place and park on Peachtree Street for a while. So I was parked on Peachtree Street, and turned out I was parked just outside the Episcopal Cathedral of St. Philip. And so I looked up and saw this big purple banner, "Come walk our banner. Come walk our labyrinth, Fridays from 3 to 5. So I thought, well, that's got to be better than this. So I pulled out of the traffic and went into the cathedral, and I was the only person walking the labyrinth. They had music playing, and I walked and had a very good experience, and walked in, walked to the center. On the way out, I crossed a line or something, ended up back at the center again. And I thought, this is strange. So I walked out, and it was a good experience, and I went right to the cathedral bookstore and bought Lauren's book. Read it, went to Grace Cathedral for her labyrinth facilitator training. And then in 2001, well, yeah, that was when I went for the facilitator training. And then that same weekend, the Labyrinth Society was meeting in Atlanta, and Lauren was doing the keynote. And since I'd just been to her training, I came to the Labyrinth Society and liked it and joined it, and been a member ever since.
So you were a past president.
I'm a past president.
So what do you see as the most enduring qualities of the TLS from the time you joined until now?
Okay. I almost didn't renew my membership. When I joined in 2001, I enjoyed the conference, enjoyed the gathering. The gathering the next year was in Sacramento, and I almost didn't join again. I almost let the membership lapse. But then I joined, and things have evolved from there. And I was president from 2011 to 2014. And I think the thing that has struck me most about the Labyrinth Society, the most enduring aspect of the Labyrinth Society, is the inclusiveness. In the mission statement of the Labyrinth Society, it says it is the mission of the Labyrinth Society to support all people who are engaged in the labyrinth, engaged in labyrinth work. And the Labyrinth Society takes that all seriously. Some organizations with which I've been affiliated in the past saved most of their best stuff just for the people who belonged to the group. If you've seen the Labyrinth Society's website, you know that most of what we have is available to all people. There are some members-only sites, but most of the information we have is available to all people, and I think that's probably one of the most enduring and most important aspects of the Labyrinth Society.
Mm-hmm. There was something that Helen said about not wanting to include facilitator training early on. It was a distinction that was made between Veriditas and TLS, because she felt it was, in her words, maybe making some sort of judgment on people that, oh no, there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it, and we have the training to show you how the right way is done. And she felt it was more important to just open it up and let people do whatever they wanted with it, play with it, turn it around, change it up. But then there were also only two particular patterns that were being used, the chart and the classical,
Right.
until Lee Good Harris came up with
Santa Rosa.
the Santa Rosa. What did that cause? Some sort of tremors?
All of that happened at a time when I was not that heavily involved with the Labyrinth Society. I came on the Labyrinth Society board in 2006 as chairman of the research committee, and up until that point had not been heavily involved with it, so I really don't know.
Okay. Were you the first research chair?
I was not. The immediate chair before me was Dr. Lillian Lashley. She was a founding member of the Labyrinth Society. Excuse me. Lillian lives in Chattanooga now and has not been active in the Labyrinth Society for several years, but she was research chair for 5 years before me. And there were some before her. I think perhaps Kimberly Sayward was research chair at one time. And Leah Good Harris might have been research chair for a while.
Okay. How did you see the research chair's position? I mean, it's, I understand there's a desire to make the TLS, to have, increase the integrity of the TLS in the academic community. Is that part of what was happening?
I don't think it's so much to increase the integrity of TLS per se in the Labyrinth community as it is to increase the integrity of the Labyrinth itself as a viable means of, as a viable walking meditation, and our research into the effect of the Labyrinth as a viable field of research, perhaps.
What kind of research did you do yourself?
Well, Lauren had written, and Helen had written, that the Labyrinth is a walking meditation. And I thought, well, it seems to be, but is it really? And there really wasn't any data to support that. So I developed an instrument that I call the Labyrinth Walk Questionnaire. It's an instrument that people take after they walked out the labyrinth, so that they don't see the questionnaire first, so that they don't get a preconceived notion. Because one of the things we learn in the Labyrinth facilitator training is not to pre-program the walk. So this is a questionnaire that people complete after they have walked the labyrinth, and it's on 10 different conditions. The STEM word is, the STEM phrase is, after having walked the labyrinth, now I feel more, much more about the same, less, much less, Likert scaling kind of thing. In the response items are things like relaxed and peaceful and centered, agitated, anxious, I think probably calm. There are 10. And what I found is the labyrinth does have the effect of a walking meditation. Anywhere from 70 to 80% of the people who have walked that have completed the questionnaire have said that yes, they do feel more, much more centered, more, much more relaxed, more, much more calm, less, or much less anxious after having walked the labyrinth. So I think that tracks pretty closely the effects of any meditative practice. So I think we can say that walking the labyrinth is a walking meditation.
An effective walking.
And an effective one. It takes standard meditative practice and then adds the aspect of movement to it. And one of the researchers has speculated that adding movement to any practice enhances the effectiveness of the meditation practice.
Why?
I don't know.
I mean, I do yoga, and I
Yeah.
know that works.
Yeah.
You know, and I find it really difficult to just sit very still and not think about anything. I just get,
Mhm.
you know, I don't have the discipline, and I haven't, because I don't have the discipline, I don't have the training to get to that place.
Speculatively, I think perhaps walking the labyrinth gives the body something to do while the mind is going into a meditative state, perhaps.
So if you had a wish list, what would you like to see done in terms of research on the labyrinth?
The research that I have done has been action research. It asks people to describe in their own words their experience after walking the labyrinth. I'd like to see research done using the portable EEGs that are in baseball caps. I'd like to see the labyrinth walk actually traced and see how the brain pattern of the walker changes while they're actually walking the labyrinth. And that's doable. It would take some work to set up a study like that, and it probably would be an expensive study to do.
And so far, no one's come through with the funds?
Well, I haven't asked for the funds yet.
Oh, yet. That's
Maybe this film, this video, we're putting the appeal out.
That's right.
We're reaching out.
Do you have any questions, Mike?
You mentioned your 10 your survey.
Mhm.
Is it available?
It's available in the research section of the Labyrinth Society website,
Nice.
as well as the latest compilation of data that I've done, which is a total of 524 responses.
Oh.
One of them's mine.
One of them is yours.
I remember filling that out. Don't remember where now.
And interestingly enough, since I developed the questionnaire, several people for doctoral dissertations or master's theses have taken the instrument, used it in their own research studies, and there's a study that's going on now, perhaps to take it and extend it, and make some changes to it. And there will soon, excuse me, I hope there will soon be an online actual version of the Labyrinth Walk questionnaire, so that if a person walked a labyrinth and wanted to complete the questionnaire, they could go to the Labyrinth Society website using their tablet or their laptop and actually complete the questionnaire online, rather than having to download it and print a paper copy.
Oh.
You know, it's a lot to say, but I could do that.
Well, I
In
have
this-
someone who's doing it for me.
Oh, you do have someone who's
Yeah.
oh, there it is.
Thank you, though.
There it is.
Mhm.
Because we could put it in this
Mhm.
publication.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. Jody, do you have more?
Well, is this where you say,
This is where I say.
okay.
This is our chance. We could part company now, and we could go off and we could do that. Oh man, I wish I would have said. Or, Mike, you should have asked that one question.
Yeah.
So this is our chance to just be for a second and reflect and know that this will be part of the 20th anniversary celebration, and that it will have legs. This will go on. So this is your chance to consider if there's anything you want to add, if there's any particular story you wish to share, any insights, any pearls, any bits of wisdom.
I think one of the things that shows the growth of the Labyrinth Society is its technological presence through the Worldwide Labyrinth Locator, which now has more than 5,000 active labyrinths listed, and now through its increasing Facebook presence. We have more than 5,000, I think close to 6,000 Facebook followers. And I think that shows the extension of the assistance provided by the Labyrinth Society and the worldwide impact of the Labyrinth Society.
Maybe Facebook would be a good repository for these interviews to consider.
Okay.
YouTube channel. We'll see. Much
Yeah,
to
you'll
talk
have to,
about.
you'll have to let me know how that would work.
Sure.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
There it is. Let's call it a day, shall
Thank
we?
you. All right.
Thank you for your
Thank
time.
Thank you so much, John.
Sure.